You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 105. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
And I'm Jeff Barnhart. Unshaven, unkempt, and making a mockery of your own language.
Wow! Comic Reflections is brought to you by Rhymes with Geek. You can check out our show, plus plenty of other cool podcasts like the all-new Anti-Fanboy, Feed It Comics, and Super Podcasto Magnifico at rhymeswithgeek.com. Please also, if you feel so inclined, to subscribe to us on either iTunes or Stitcher.
All right.
So, Jeff, our first book we're going to talk about today is S.H.I.E.L.D. #1. And this is a reprint from a couple of issues of, the S.H.I.E.L.D. stories from a couple issues of Strange Tales. The first being When the Unliving Strike from Strange Tales number 146. Written by Stan Lee. Let me back up. Plotted by Jack Kirby. Dialogue written by Stan Lee. Okay, and Kirby did the penciled layouts, which are thumbnails that he would give to the guy who's actually going to pencil it, like a storyboard almost. And so it's penciled by Don Heck, and then inked by Mike Esposito. So I know that's a little complicated, but
okay.
Yeah.
When the unliving strike
Yeah.
for an unliving wage. So, we got a Kirby Cool with this. What is a swamp buggy? It looks like a pill with four wheels. Sometimes it goes into kind of stupid looking, but cool, and you can't tell the difference. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those wheels don't look like they've got much traction to them.
That's true, but it might have propulsion.
That's true.
I mean, they're the big balloon wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, they're after them.
Which is cool, but also terrible. It calls for some strange grammatical sentences like "them have been doing," or "them has been doing some evil deeds," and it sounds like somebody's from the Ozarks, you know. But them, I'll just spoil a little bit. It turns out to be AIM, who are at least in the beginning of the story sympathetic and allied with S.H.I.E.L.D. But
I think this is where we learn they're evil.
Right. The AIM at this point is publicly seeming good, and then there's this subversive evil part of it that people don't know about. But of course, it would be revealed.
Like the Girl Scouts.
Right.
No.
But yeah, they were the science division of Hydra, and then they split off on their own. So anyway, let's go on with this.
I wonder if that was dealt with. Those little infighting between villain groups and all that stuff would have been really interesting to read. I wonder if that's actually in a book.
Were they split?
Happened. Yeah.
I'm sure of it. In fact, it's probably... I don't know. I don't know if it's during this time or if it's a little later with the Steranko run, but on S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so they're in the swampland.
Who is it? Where you got Nick Fury and
Stillwell and
Jasper and
Dum
Dum Dugan.
And Dum Dum has gone to the swamp. He's wearing his bowler and a three-piece suit.
Of course.
Yeah. Stillwell's wearing a World War I Doughboy's helmet.
Yeah.
It might be a work helmet.
I don't know.
So it's kind of hard to tell.
So there are these weird... is this a flashback of these weird android creatures, right?
They're in here because they got attacked by a purely chemical assassin. But isn't everything purely chemical? If you took the chemicals out of us, there would be nothing left.
All right, but it makes it sound cool, like they were totally genetically, like grown in a lab, or engineered. So,
so they get attacked from below from amphibious androids.
Yeah,
and they look pretty cool. And but S.H.I.E.L.D. is ready for them, and they zap them. And they capture a bunch of them. So they follow the ones who get away to the place. Here we go back to the Hela.
Yeah, the helicarrier. Oh, and they got a great shot of the helicarrier too.
Yeah. Okay. I never have liked the Hela. It's too absurd.
Okay.
It's just too much. They could have done, I don't know. But Oh well, I think they did it better in the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's more plausible or something, or
Well, because
I
you're
don't know.
seeing it, it looks believable.
Yeah,
So,
it's just too. I don't know. Oh, we'll just let it go.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of interesting idea, but they were carriers, but they were airborne carriers, but they were zeppelins,
Right.
and they
Well,
were whole planes.
this original helicarrier looks like kind of like a Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of got that shape, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost too big for the. Yeah, I don't know.
Would it be better if Shield had like a secret base on land?
Yeah, that's been done before.
But see, then they would get found out. The fact they have this mobile operation is kind of cool.
Yeah, if the helicarrier was a little bit smaller,
Yeah.
it'd be better, and it'd be more plausible. This is too huge.
Okay.
So.
It should be like multiple helicarriers instead of the helicarrier.
Yeah,
I can dig it.
And a Zeppelin, a new cool Zeppelin would be neat too.
Yeah. Zeppelin rules.
Yeah, indeed.
Just ask Otto.
You know how they got that name, right?
What?
They had an original Led Zeppelin. Originally had this name.
Well, they were going to be. It was because Jimmy Page had been in the Yardbirds, and they were going to change the name. They were going to call this band the New Yardbirds.
Yeah.
And Keith Moon said, "Oh, that'll go over like a Led Zeppelin."
Right.
And then.
Yeah. Or someone said Led Balloon, no, a Led Zeppelin, or something like that.
Yeah.
So. But that, yeah, I love little stories like that. All right, let's see, what's going on now? They ride this cool little torpedo type thing, all the SHIELD agents.
Yeah.
And they come in and Sitwell gets into trouble. He goes off by himself and blows himself up. Makes Kirby, makes Fury mad. And now we meet the them guys.
And I love these beekeeper costumes. It's one of
It's
my favorite villain henchman-y costumes. I know it's silly looking.
They're cool because they're super smart.
Yeah, and the thing is, look, I work in this super sciencey building, and I see people in bunny suits all the time now.
Yeah.
So I get that the AIM guys would have this. So.
Yeah. I am ambivalent about the costume, but I do like the villains. They're really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So the SHIELD guys go in. Fury chews out Sitwell. Is it Sitwell?
This is Sitwell, Jasper Sitwell.
Yeah, there's a General Sitwell. But
yeah, okay.
And he's sad. So they got this cool energy ball.
Yeah.
And they're gonna, let's see.
Are they gonna crush the SHIELD agents in it, or do they just trap them?
They just no, they're gonna make another electric charge and kill everybody. So.
But then they've got some more android folks that they made.
Hammerhand androids. Big, burly, orangey, bald-headed guys.
Well,
with
they got skullets. Is what they've got.
Yeah, skullets. Yeah. And they're fighting, and so AIM. Oh, excuse me, them guys run away.
See, that's why it's so awkward to call them. It creates a lot of problems.
Yeah, well, at least they're called we, I guess. Or us, or something.
Oh.
So they get zapped. I love this one panel where they go against the wall, the hands, and they get zapped. And it's pretty cool and really dramatic and nice.
Right on.
And so they zap the wall, the hammerhands, and let out SHIELD. And the SHIELD has to fight the hammerhands, and they gas them. Yay!
Yeah.
It's non-lethal, I think. Although it doesn't matter, they're androids. Killing an android, the cool thing about it, you're not killing a thing or a living creature. You're killing an inanimate object.
Well, it's animate, but it's an object, not a person.
No, you're right. That's not the word. Okay. But, they're not sentient beings.
No. Not in this sense, so.
I don't know. Maybe Data is. Isn't he an android?
That's a different kind of android.
Yeah.
The awesome android from the Mad Thinker, he's not a person. Okay, but the Vision is.
Okay.
There are degrees of androidity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So we go back to the helicarrier, and one of the things that happened was they're trying to bring in the AIM guys. Were trying to bring in this model of a bomb. I'm really not sure if it was a real bomb or not a bomb.
Yeah, but they make a big deal when Fury's like, "Hey, it's a bomb."
And the general gets ticked up because these AIM guys are humiliated, and they're really big jerks, and they hate Fury.
But because they have influence on S.H.I.E.L.D. bigwigs, they are trying to oust Fury because they think it'll be easier to take down S.H.I.E.L.D. With Fury out of the way, which makes sense. Right. Yeah,
that's a good plan.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's a good, clever plan. So the general comes by and the S.H.I.E.L.D. boys with Fury come back and they go to and they take some sack time. At least Fury does. Sitwell is really bummed out because he made a mistake. So Fury puts him to work, and then that makes him happy. So because I still need you, so okay, I must be worth something then.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. He's a good leader. You rarely see him say a good thing about anybody, but everyone knows that he cares. So
he even when he says something nice, he says it as like an insult with all this bluster, like. Dum dum, you old walrus, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. But there's an interesting scene where he hurts Sitwell's feelings, and then he feels bad about it.
Right.
Because Sitwell, Jasper Sitwell is so overzealous about everything. He's a capable agent, but he's such a nerd.
I don't know if nerd is a word. He's kind of prissy and
he's just so over the top with the. He's
like
such
verbiage.
Yeah, he's a geek, and it's so. I don't know.
Autistic. So.
Almost, yeah. Except if he was autistic, he wouldn't get his feelings hurt. Because they are like androids.
I don't know about that.
If you meet people on the autism spectrum, they're just different. So.
I think they can get their feelings hurt.
They have to recognize other folks.
There's a spectrum of it, and now autism, like Asperger's syndrome.
Yeah,
that's considered autism now.
Yeah.
They're rid of Asperger's syndrome because everybody was calling an autistic kid has Asperger's syndrome because that was a cool disease to have. So.
But
all right, so
anyway,
all right. The general comes in on Fury while he was sleeping, and then chews out Fury for being in his t-shirt for sleeping. But for crying out loud, he's sleeping. What is he supposed to do? Wear his dress that he used to?
Right.
Bed?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But again, they're just looking for any excuse to be down on Fury.
Yeah. So, AIM has another plan. So their plan is to attack the barbershop where everyone goes into the S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters.
Yeah.
And if Fury helps and comes, they're going to shoot Fury. But if he doesn't, they're going to kill the agents.
Right.
And if he comes and he wins, he loses because he is risking his life. And someone, a leader of $1 billion organization with tens of thousands of people, really shouldn't be going out shooting people. And he should be telling people to shoot.
Right. But it's a pretty good plan.
Yeah,
that's quite a situation to get out. Oh, it's a pickle.
Yeah. But and actually, it's a Captain Kirk syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not interesting to watch somebody send people off to fight.
Right.
It is interesting to watch people fight.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, and that's the thing about Star Trek. It's like, no way would the captain be on any Star Trek go on all those away missions. He's the captain.
How are you going to pick up girls? You stay in the bridge, though.
Right.
Oh, it depends. I think there's probably quite a few. I mean, Captain Cook was killed in the Sandwich Islands, which is now Hawaii.
Right.
And he was the captain of up to 3 ships in a major sailing expedition. So I guess it's not unheard of.
And then, what do we got going? Fury fighting the AIM guys.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Everyone has really cool weapons, and everyone's dressed up in the beekeeper outfit. But which do you want your minions wearing that? You know, it's sort of because it's hard to see out of them and all that.
Well, right. I mean, it started as these are the Hydra Science Division guys, and it's supposed to be science guys working in the labs and stuff, like with highly dangerous stuff. And then it just kind of evolved into the henchman costume. So, what do you do? Yeah. It started out as a practical thing, and then just became the uniform because they moved away from Hydra later, and they didn't change the costume.
Right. So I guess you need to find how they know each other. Who is who? There's no name tags on these things.
That's true, but that's part of the anonymous, bad guys that you're fighting.
Okay. Really cool battle. Sitwell uses hot towels on people and then messes them up. Oh, but I don't know how hot towels are. You've had a hot towel on your face, and it's it's uncomfortable at first, but it feels good later. It's not that bad, but I don't know.
Maybe getting hit with it real quick hurts.
But
like
you got a helmet on.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah, but it's kind of.
It's wet. Is it a wet towel? Because that'll have some weight to it. It's still dumb.
Hot towels, get them off. Oh, and someone bashes Dum Dum in the head, and he knocks off his. Oh, he takes off his hat and then hits him over the head, but he's wearing a steel cap, like a yarmulke.
Yeah, under the cap. I think it's because people expect that it's just going to be a hat, and they get surprised by it. I swear he still did that back in the days of the Howling Commandos, too.
No, the hat was metal.
Yeah.
But here, he's wearing the hat over a metal steel yarmulke.
Okay.
And this is the first time I've seen this.
Well.
And he says, "What's the matter? Doesn't everybody wear one?" Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
There was another great joke when the general came in and complained about how he was dressed, and Fury says, "What do you want me to look like, Liberace?"
Yeah,
that's a great line.
Oh
man! All right, so a good fight. Then they see some kind of transmitter, anti-vibration and device that they turn the transmitter to maximum intensity, and they knock him out, but Fury is able to get a grenade out, a stun grenade.
So an anti-vibration device, so maximum not vibrating?
I guess.
That's so weird. Okay, we'll just go with it.
Yeah. All right.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah. Oh, so they beat up the AIM guys. They rescue the taken SHIELD guys. One of them's a babe. And Dum Dum kisses her, and she chases him out. And someone says she's really flirting with Sitwell, but Sitwell didn't know about it. So.
Interesting.
So AIM knows Nick Fury's onto them, and they want to get him. So.
Okay. So that was one other note about that issue. That was split into 2 chapters, and the second one was called "The Enemy Within," reprinted from Strange Tales number 147. And I had the same creative team throughout. So,
yeah.
All right. So this next issue we've got to talk about. Man, this was awesome sauce.
Yeah, it's Silver Surfer, first one we've ever done, I think.
I think you're right. It's the first. I think it'll be the first time he shows up on this show. I think we've done some Fantastic Four, but I don't think he's been in them. I could be wrong, but
I don't think. Well, it's not a. Well, it's definitely the first Silver Surfer mag we do.
Yeah, and. Yeah, okay, so let me talk about that. That's Silver Surfer number 6, and the story is called Worlds Without End, written by Stan Lee, and penciled by John Buscema, inked by Sal Buscema. So, yay.
Yeah, Worlds Without End.
It's a science fiction story or a movie that that's also carries that title.
Yeah, and I've seen it, and I can't remember a dang thing about it.
Yeah.
So we have a great splash panel of Silver Surfer looking really sad.
Yeah.
And when is he ever happy? I've never seen Silver Surfer smile.
No, he's pretty bummed all the time.
No, the original emo Surfer.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that before, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of true. I mean, but
yeah, it's almost too much. But that made him really popular though with a certain crowd. I don't think it was a huge hit, but it had a definite fan base.
Not like Spider-Man huge, but I mean it's definitely was the popularity of the character when he appeared in Fantastic Four was huge, comparatively speaking. And it certainly justified him getting his own book. He was certainly a popular guest character in the FF. And then in, I think, 68, when he got his own book, it did well.
Yeah, and then it ended. I don't know if he's a good single person to follow around. He's such a downer. I don't know if they should give him somebody, a goofy companion or something. I don't know.
Well, then they ended up putting him in with the Defenders, with Doctor Strange and the Hulk and Namor for a while.
Okay. Yeah. I want to read those. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, because the Defenders just started out as those three, and then the Surfer shows up, and then the Valkyrie, and then it just kind of has a very fluid lineup that changes a lot.
I can't think of anybody who would be a great character with. Maybe Deadpool.
I read because he's such a unique character. I read a fun one in maybe a year ago where he teamed up with Daredevil, and that was cool. Everything is so epic with the Silver Surfer. It's you got to have epic stuff. So you need the Fantastic Four or something major happening, or it's got to be him by himself dealing with stuff. So.
Right. Yeah, it's super sad, and I do like him. And don't get me wrong, but I'd hate to read my year's worth of this stuff after a sad day or something. That'd be suicidal, you know. Yeah,
we'll have a few more issues of Silver Surfer, but it won't be like, tons and tons. So.
Okay. Well, the sadness of Silver Surfer, of course, is that he's stuck on Earth because of
he defied Galactus, and Galactus because he was Galactus' herald. He defied Galactus and helped the Fantastic Four save the Earth, and so Galactus punished him by putting this invisible barrier around the Earth, and he cannot leave.
And he has this girl in Zenla.
Yeah.
And
Shalabal.
And who loves him. She's like, is it Penelope, Odysseus' wife?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It spurns all suitors waiting for him.
Yeah. The Surfer, he had to give up. He gave up life on Zenla and life with Shalabal to save Zenla from Galactus, and that's why he became the Herald.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Did you watch the movie with
Fantastic Four? Yeah. Nah, I didn't watch that second one.
And neither did I. I'm kind of interested though. I mean,
yeah. The first one I was so underwhelmed with. I'm like, the sequel was going to be better,
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Well, sometimes it is. That's Star Trek. The second movie is Wrath of Khan is a lot better than Star Trek the motion picture.
Although the Star Trek the motion picture is a better movie on multiple viewings. Really. At least from my experience. I like it. But I grew to like it.
I'm not doing that growing. So.
Okay. Well, let's just get it. Let's just dig in with our story here.
All right. So, he goes back to okay. Al B. Harper was the merciless stranger who might have erased mankind, which was last issue.
Yeah.
And he goes in the cabin and he looks at this failed experiment and says, "Oh, why don't I go back and I'll go forward in time?" And then the Galactus' barrier will not be there.
Right. So he's going to travel in time by going super fast. This predates, what is it, Superman, the movie, where he travels around the Earth real quick to turn back time.
I like that. Oh well.
But this is he slingshots around the Earth. I get this makes more sense. He's traveling in time, not like trying to turn back time. So So he does, and he goes to the far future, and the barrier is gone, but
And
everything is
Earth
destroyed.
Yeah, not on, but everywhere.
Yeah.
And first thing he blames are the humans. They kill themselves. They're idiots. What a great land, and they destroy themselves. But really, they didn't.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. So,
Yeah.
Then Zenla was blown up. So hey, he can't diss his hometown.
Right. So he had gone back to Zenla, and he finds that there's not much left of humanity. It's just these kind of these subhumans that have kind of devolved, just isolated remnants of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And they are led by this guy, the Overlord, who destroyed all life in the universe.
Yeah, and yeah. So here comes. All right, the cavemen beat him up. And is he trying very hard, or is he?
I think he doesn't want to hurt them because they're just.
Well, he's
savages.
bummed out, so who cares? But Zenla's destroyed. I don't care anymore. Was this great panel of one of the caveman type guys trying to eat the surfboard?
Right. These are big dudes, by the way. So
yeah. I don't know. The surfboard, I never have really liked that. I don't know. He should have. But then what's it going to be? The silver.
Just flying on his own power. I mean, come on. The surfboard is a cool idea. It's weird, but that's Kirby. It's a Kirby creation.
Yeah, Kirby. Even Mighty Homer nodded once or twice.
Look, here's the thing. The goofy one is over at DC for the New Gods. There was a character, the Black Racer, who was a black guy with a knight's helmet and ski poles and skis that flew through space. Now that guy, that's the Mighty Homer nod. The surfer, I can deal totally.
I'm ambivalent about it. I don't know.
Okay,
but okay. So the cavemen, I don't know. They call, they know, but the Overlord's lieutenants come down in this cool spaceship. This awesome.
Yeah.
So, and they look pretty cool too.
Yeah, they've got neat helmets with this, like cable apparatus to go to their spacesuits are really neat.
Yeah, and the cavemen want their reward, and so they give it to them. They kill them. Man, these guys are mean.
That is cold.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, would you expect any less from servants of the Overlord? Because he don't play either.
Well, even evil people need to know how to handle subordinates, and that is. You got to give them something, I would think, because when just kill them all, you want to end up without any. If you do good and you die, and you do bad, you die. You might as well do bad against your leader,
right?
You're going to get the same thing.
I dig it. I mean, if there's no reward for doing well, if it's the same, then why bother?
Yeah, even Hitler gave out medals.
So yeah, the Overlord, man, he's this huge guy, and we get his origin. He was this mutant that eventually took over his whole planet
from atomic accident.
Yeah,
and and he's taken over everything. So.
Yeah. So, and this guy's huge and really powerful, and he's got this weird claw hand.
Mm-hmm.
One of his hands, and he is ugly. But yeah, his father was exposed to this nuclear accident, and that's why he was born all weird. And he became this uncontrollable thing that eventually overran his whole race. And anyway, he captures the surfer and beats the crap out of him.
Yeah. Actually, the surfer does okay. And then one of his lieutenants, the Overlord's lieutenants, is about to shoot the surfer, and Overlord says, "Hold, fool," and then he kills him. Like, why don't you say "hold, fool," and if he holds, and don't kill him.
Right.
But he kills him anyway. So
yeah, because the Overlord people don't mean anything. So
yeah, it's sort of.
I wouldn't want to work for that guy, but I think the choice is you might live or certain death.
Mm-hmm.
So
Overlord kills the guy and says, let's have lunch. He brings in, how these slaves bring in.
Looks like pig or something.
Yeah, something like that. And it's this huge platter, and they got about 4 people underneath it trying to carry it.
Yeah.
And this huge thing of drink, which is 3 guys carrying it. It's massive. And then he eats, and then he throws his underlings a bone.
Yeah, he just feeds these, beasts or people, just scraps.
Mm-hmm. So, nothing furnishes a room like captive dancers. So they come out, and one of them looks like Shalal Ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Surfer thinks that's who it is, but it's not. And so even though she's not his love, he's going to protect her anyway, or try to. So he brings her up, and then Overlord gets mad and blasts him and kills the girl.
Right. So the Surfer is recaptured, and he meets a guy who is a servant of the Overlord, who is the last survivor of Zen Law, and he's sympathetic to the Surfer. Mm-hmm. So he's going to help him. Yeah.
Okay, so, and they got to figure out, and he tells a story about how the radiation thing, and
the whole Overlord origin.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And Overlord just takes over his planet, kills everybody, and then takes over the universe.
Yeah. So at this point, after the guy has told the origin, the Overlord breaks in and he kills that guy. And the Surfer gets his plan. I'm going to fly away. I'm going to travel to the time when the Overlord's father was exposed to that accident and prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he does. And he fixes everything. And then he goes back to the present.
Yeah, because he's got to think about things.
Yeah.
So, good story.
I like it. Just beautiful art throughout the whole thing. It was really terrific.
Yeah.
So cool backup story. It's a tale of the Watcher, and this one is called The Unsuspecting. It's written by Stan Lee, penciled by Sid Shores, and inked by Frank Brunner, who this is just really terrific looking. And Frank Brunner had a great, or a rather celebrated run on Doctor Strange as a penciler, and
that's pretty neat.
Probably the best Sid Shores job I've looked at. That's nice.
Yeah, let's see. All right, so everyone on Earth is getting off work and going home and watching TV. It looks like I don't know. It doesn't look like maybe middle 60s, maybe.
Sure.
And everyone's enjoying the TV, and here comes aliens. And they're in this cloud, and they are transparent. They send out these looks like cloud people, but it's spies, and they're just checking out everything. And they find out that everybody is watching TV, so they have this evil plan. And the aliens look good. It gets corporeal here. And they got a huge forehead, like bulbous head, so you know they're smart. So their plan is to make the TVs into spies and indoctrination.
People, yeah.
So, I wonder if this was done before.
And then they added the Watcher in later.
That's
exactly what happened.
Oh, okay.
So, because it is a little bit earlier.
Yeah, because I was thinking the TVs look really 1950-ish. And there was the backlash against TV really happened in the 50s. Because it was probably hurt comic book sales.
Yeah.
Hurt movies and radio.
Yeah.
For good and ill.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of a, hey, turn off the tube kind of message. But
yeah, and buy more comic books.
Yay!
Not bad. Oh, and the kicker is that they're going to put it in Silver Surfer magazine, so everybody will have already heard of this plot. So if anyone thinks this plot, there's in a comic book. So they're just pretty smart.
Yeah. Yeah, that story had run in an earlier thing in another form, and they added the Watcher and stuff later. And unfortunately, I missed that where it originally came in my notes. So, oops on me.
Okay.
So our next book and our last for this episode is Dagar the Invincible, number 4. It's from Gold Key Comics. And the story is called Vengeance, Sweet Vengeance. Written by Don Glutt with art by Jesse Santos.
Yeah. Well, Dagar the Invincible. If you're invincible, then you don't really have to worry about him being invincible and dying.
I think it's hyperbole.
Maybe so.
Because clearly he's mortal.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, really well. It's well drawn, and yeah, it's pretty. It's not Conan, but it's dang close.
Okay. It's a good sword and sorcery book.
Indeed.
I had a feeling that you would be into it, so.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
It's not no Mighty Samson.
Right, but what is?
Yeah. Oh. Alright, so Dagar, looking for vengeance against Scorpio. This is where he's supposed to be, and it's this desert. There's nothing there. And he's thirsty and about to die. Then you see Scorpio soldiers, and they go into this...
Like a portal.
Yeah.
Another dimension.
And so...
That's always cool.
Yeah. I wish I had a portal. and Dagar follows, and he sees a soldier, and he just bops him on the head. But he doesn't want to kill anybody just because they're soldiers. So
right. Well, how nice.
Yeah. So
he's a thoughtful barbarian.
So Dagar, yeah. So Dagar disguises himself as Dagar. All he does to disguise himself in an enemy city where he's probably known, he grabs a spear. Right. And it's sort of, you could have put on the guy's helmet or something.
Sure.
But the joke's on Dagar because the guy was not a soldier, he was a gladiator. So he has to go out and fight. And you see Scorpio, he's blue. So he's up to no good.
Yeah.
The original blue meaning.
Yeah. And so he's like overseeing the gladiatorial stuff. And Dagar has to fight like 3, big old tigers?
They are Smilodons. They are saber-toothed tigers.
Smilodons?
That's a classic. That's what they are.
Oh, really?
That's a Latin.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So.
I'll just shut the hell up now.
Yeah, you should.
So he fights them and he kills the crap out of these tigers.
But then and Scorpio
uses magic and makes one of them giant.
Yeah, and there's a nice big battle. And Scorpio is happy with the victory, even though he lost 4 cats. And Dagar throws a spear at him, and it turns into a feather.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Magic's easy once you know Scorpio.
Yeah. So Dagar runs, and he hears somebody telling him, hey, run in here.
Mm-hmm.
So he runs down, and they have this dungeon full of monsters.
And these monsters used to be people. They were changed by magic permanently by Scorpio and his evil wizardry.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's saved by some old guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a wizard. And
kind of reminds like his grandfather who raised him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's intentional.
Yeah. So this guy has been waiting to overthrow Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
And he just wants to get rid of him. He doesn't want to take over from Scorpio. He just wants to get rid of him. And so he's lawful good, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If use D&D parlance. So, he tells the story of Scorpio, and Scorpio uses the astrological sign, the star of Scorpio, the constellation.
Yeah.
That's how he gets his power.
Yeah.
Doesn't
he bring down a giant scorpion to fight Dagar?
Yeah, that's later in the story.
Oh, sorry. Whoops. I thought that was next.
And we had our audience on the edge of their seats.
Oh, didn't we?
So he finds out that Scorpio has his soul on a necklace around his neck.
Whose soul? Scorpio's soul.
Scorpio's, yeah.
Okay.
Some really cool scenes of Scorpio doing magic. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So Dagar runs off, but before that, the old guy gives and we don't know his name.
Right.
He doesn't say it. My name is not important.
Sure.
He gives Dagar his last magic, and this is killing the old guy. But the old guy, in his last dying breath, lets loose the monsters.
Okay, and that's going to buy Dagar a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cause chaos that Scorpio's going to have to deal with. And, yeah, smart.
Yeah. Oh, so Dagar goes to the guy's bedroom and Scorpio's and kills the guards. And here Scorpio's just chilling out, and he's dreaming about all the bad stuff he's done.
Yeah, and we see all kinds of monsters and people being subjugated and
killed,
wow.
And he's happy.
Of course.
And I think that Dagar can actually see these things. I think that he's watching him.
Yeah.
And it's like a projector or something like that.
I can dig it.
Yeah. It is, so the fight begins. Scorpio uses magic against Dagar, but it doesn't really stop him.
Yeah. Because the old man had instilled Dagar with some magic, enough to resist Scorpio.
Yeah. Alright, so Scorpio's soldiers are having trouble against some monsters, and it's a pretty cool battle.
Man, and the monsters look creepy.
Yeah, they do. Man, they do. But they look... You see where they're kind of humanoid? That's kind of neat.
Yeah. They had been twisted and perverted by Scorpio. Yeah. And so Scorpio uses some magic and makes Dagar get all hairy and kind of bestial. Kind of halfway.
I think
he was going
to a mindless beast, but you really can't tell the difference.
Right. I think he was going to turn Dagar into a monster like he'd done his other guys, but the magic the old guy had given him was enough for him to resist. Yeah. So at this point, Scorpio brings down that giant scorpion.
Yeah, how apropos.
Yeah.
So, and the scorpion looks cool. Scorpio looks happy to see that. And then he's fighting, Dagar's fighting the scorpion, and he wins. And then Scorpio comes and to gloat over him.
Yeah.
And Dagar grabs his necklace and destroys it.
Kills the crap out of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that broke all of his enchanted stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so...
And then he comes back and he's... And his Scorpio's world is destroyed.
Yeah. And Dagar's returned to his own world, and he's gotten his revenge. His quest is over. 4 issues in.
Yeah. Hear me, gods, I told Gunio. Without your aid, I have banished the fiend who had destroyed my people. Today, Dagar has tasted sweet vengeance for himself and for his people. Oh, okay. Pretty good story.
Yeah. A couple things. Remember, in the first issue, he renounced those gods.
That's right. And he says, I didn't need your help anyway. So,
yeah.
But I wonder the gods are helping him out anyway.
Yeah, kind of like Crom in Conan, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Crom, I never prayed to you before. I had no tongue for it.
Right.
Give me revenge. And if you don't help me, then to hell with you, that kind of thing.
But
that is awesome. But also, this obviously isn't the end of the series. In the issue 2 and 3, which we don't have, apparently Dagar met this chick, Graylin, who was then lost to him immediately, and now his quest is to find her and get with her.
Mm-hmm.
So,
let's see. I'm a mutant born to rule, destined to conquer, fated to destroy all others.
That was the Overlord, right?
Yeah.